pleased to welcome back again our favorite story tailor from the Eastern Townships. Please welcome Grandpa Bob.
You ever heard of Nigger Rock? The old man asked. Before I could answer, he continued to speak. You know that black runaway slaves are buried there. Early 1990s, a man by the name of Hank Avery, he's now a retired teacher, discovered through lore that there was a place down in Eastern Townships called Nigger Rock, and story went that there were black slaves that were buried at the base of this rock. So he went about trying to have the rock recognized as an historical and sacred site. In 1833, the British government passed a law, and all the slaves in their territories were deemed to be free according to this law. But these particular people were really not free at all, because in the end they had no education, no money, they had no... This little story spurred me to write a poem, and I will read you the poem that I wrote based on that story. It's called, They Say I Be Free. I pause so to ponder for a moment but brief. They say I be free, but I feel disbelief. I cannot fathom freedom. I still feel much distress. They say I be free, I got a blouse and a dress. I've been given a job, it's one of a kind. Though my wages be none, they say slavery's behind. You belong to no one, they say, do not fear. As long as you work, we will feed you, my dear. I cannot fathom freedom. Am I just dumb or naive? They say I be free, yet I cannot believe. My head is full of query for this moment but brief, so I best get back to work, or I will suffer much grief. Freedom, I be free now, I have a job without pay. If I work really hard, I will be fed, so they say. Like the big rock behind me, I must remain strong. Maybe I will feel freedom. I cannot always be wrong. Why cannot I fathom freedom? Why do I feel much distress? They say I be free, I got a blouse and a dress. Oh, how I wonder what for me lies ahead. How will I be remembered after that I am dead? Though I be black, I be free. Why this? Something odd. I be birth of love. Be not I a child of God? Will I ever phantom freedom? Why do I feel much distress? They say I be free, I got a blouse and a dress. Later on, after a bit of discussion, she challenged me to write a story. And that's how I got to write this story, which is called Birdie, the Saga of Nigger Rock. Birdie was born into slavery in Mississippi in 1840. The first part of the book deals with her life on the cotton plantation, her insatiable curiosity and her need to learn and to understand. She teaches herself to write, composes poetry in her mind, and finds comfort from the land, from the birds and animals. Just turned 14, given courage by tales of escaped Harriet Tubman, she heads north all alone, helped by Quakers along the way, where she is placed in the hands of the Underground Railroad. Birdie eventually lands in Saint Armand, where she prospers, yet at the same time learns that there are many degrees of freedom. Now, I wrote a poem which introduces some of my talks, and the poem is like this. Born as a slave. Birth be a child so long ago, a most beautiful child as can be. Though born as a slave, she be bright, she be brave, a child most precious is she. Down in the south in a cotton plantation, a child she works on the land, from dawn until dusk and even much longer, she bows to her master's command. Afraid of the whip, she works never stopping. Slavery is all she has known. She belongs to the master, she has no say, but her mind and her heart are her own. She dreams of her future, what cannot be. She is sure she will never succeed. For her dream to come true, just one thing to do. Somehow she needs to be freed. Mind always alert to learn all she can. Her heart speaks to her every day. It plans out her future, the pathway to truth, inciting her to run away. It finally happens, she sets herself free. Her heart guided her all along. She travels in fear, though she sheds not a tear. Instead, she breaks out in song. The Underground Railroad takes her to Canada, where her dream starts to finally come true. With the help of a friend, all goes well in the end. In Saint-Armand, she starts life anew. Freedom at last, the end of a war, but bigots continue to brand. At Nigger Rock, she conquers them all, without even raising a hand. They called her Miss Birdie, a fine teacher she be, respected by blacks and by whites. With her friend Clarice, Jacob Luke's niece, she is defender of freedom and rights. Humble a woman, she does not lose faith. She believes she is in God's hand. She struggles, she copes. She prays and she hopes that one day people will understand. Freedom, she writes, lies beyond that rock, should one cower to bigotry. But it is a fact, one's retaliating act, it will never set a person free. Time is a healer, time is a keeper of memories that sees that they last. It brings them to present that people may share the things that were done in the past. Time is a way of keeping things safe. Till that time it brings them to the fore. Now time is a telling to celebrate Birdie, that Nigger Rock be freedom ere more. Birth be a child so long ago, a most beautiful child as can be. Though born as a slave, she be bright, she be brave. A child most precious is she. Oft upon a time, born to this land, a child most precious can be. That child be a girl sent to help the world by inspiring sincere harmony. Though different by name, her spirit the same, her heart filled with love deep inside. She be here and about to sing and to shout, to share all her love far and wide. She practices sharing, she is gentle and caring. The destitute she is avowed to defend. She cultivates hope, she teaches to cope. Her strength is one with which to contend. Mary Magdalene, Mother Teresa, Rosa Parks, Diana, Princess of the people she be. There's a crusade to teach and to aid, promoting responsibility. Joni, Sister Antonia, live-in prison angel. She is loved and respected so much. Evangeline, Birdie, Jane Doe, from deep in their heart, offer warmth, kindness, and such. Though different by name, their mission the same, to help restore people's hope and their pride. Each in their own way, strength of a woman display, in her strength, true love undenied. Nigger Rock is, it's in Saint-Armand near the Phillipsburg border on Highway 133. It's about a kilometer away from the border. It's a huge limestone rock, and if you want to see a picture of it, I can show you later on. It's like reflected in that poster. The only thing that you will see, it says here, the land remained in the Luke family possession since 1950, when it was sold to the Benoit family. The Benoit still own the land today. Now Luke Road, which runs along the property, and the tiny Luke Cemetery and abandoned graveyard are the only physical evidence that the land was once owned by the Luke family. The whites in those days reserved a piece of land for themselves, nicely decorated with to bury their loved ones. But blacks, especially slaves, were not accorded such a dignity. They were usually buried haphazardly wherever the land was really not fit to be used for anything else. And so it was with the Luke household, at least until it was decided that to give the slaves a more decent place of rest, that is at the base of Nigger Rock. So you can visit the Luke Cemetery. They have the museum in the area. Stanbridge East Museum has, they host little graveyard tours. You could visit there. And basically the story has been published by Bako Publishing Consultants. You can buy the book at Chapters if you like, and later on you can get a little piece of paper to remind you the name. I left it here at the front desk. The other thing, I've been working on the sequel. It's almost done. A few people have read it. It's called Pilgrimage to Nigger Rock, In Search of Miss Birdie. It should be published soon. And as a tribute to Birdie, in closing, from one of my other stories called Joshua's Treasure, I would like to offer you a special stone as a symbol of solidarity with our sisters and brothers at Nigger Rock. Please help us make Birdie proud, and Anissa will pass around the stones and you get to pick them at random. So thank you very much.